The mold virus showcased in Resident Evil 7 and Village is a very peculiar type of fungal virus that can grant its users exceptional abilities such as regeneration and high resilience, and the series does not seem to be moving on from it anytime soon. What is up, guys? The Gamer Bandit here, and today I'm back with another theory video for you guys. The last theory video I did, I had a lot of fun. The Resident Evil Village DLC theory video. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one, so I thought I'd do another one. And in this one, I'm going to be discussing what experiments did Miranda do to Mia. Now, before we start, let's take a look at the scene, which will be the focus of today's discussion.
It really is you. I'm glad you saved me. Why are you here?
I was caught and used in experiments.
Wait, did you say Mia? Mia Winters?
In the flesh. What's the situation up there?
Kind of a war going on. Nothing we can't handle.
Don't get distracted. Stick to the mission. I'm headed to the ceremony site.
Wait! You can't leave me here. You promised, damn it! You said that you would keep us safe.
During a scene near the end of Resident Evil Village, Chris Redfield unlocks a cell, releasing Mia from her imprisonment. After Chris tells her how happy he is to see her, he then asks, what is she doing here? She replies that she was caught and used in experiments. Now, this seems like an important statement, but it's overshadowed by all the other revelations going on in the game at the same time. Like right before this scene takes place, we learn that Oswald Spencer was in the village years and years and years before Umbrella even existed. And then after this scene, we learn that Ethan was a mold this entire time, ever since Resident Evil, the beginning of Resident Evil 7. So Mia saying that she was using experiments was just overshadowed by all these other things happening. Now, Mia just casually mentions that she was a part of Miranda's experiments, and it's never really touched on ever again. But maybe it's just a throwaway line, but Miranda is known for experimenting on people, which grants them superhuman powers. She's been doing it for 100 years, so maybe she did the same thing to Mia. But we all know that Mia was cured of the mold virus back in Resident Evil 7, when Ethan had to make a choice to save either Mia or Zoe, and we all know he picked his wife Mia. Now, I can't really remember if it was the Connections or Blue Umbrella that had the ability to re-engineer a cure for the E-type virus. I think it was Blue Umbrella, if I'm remembering End of Zoe correctly. I think it was Blue Umbrella. But maybe that's another reason why Miranda is experimenting on Mia too, to see how they were able to get rid of the virus. Okay, now we're going to discuss the possibility that Mia was reinfected with the virus. I'm not sure if she could be reinfected after she's already been cured, but let's just say for the fact that she was reinfected with the virus and what can happen after. So if Miranda did reinfect Mia with the virus, maybe now Mia will have powers similar to the Four Lords. In Resident Evil 7, she didn't really have any powers. She was just able to get back from every hit. She just looked like a crazy woman. But maybe now she'll actually get powers similar to Domitrescu or Heisenberg or something like that. And I could totally see Mia having similar powers to that of Donna Beneviento with all the hallucinations. Because if you remember during that Beneviento house section in Village, Mia did play a big part in that section. It probably doesn't mean anything for the future, but maybe that was foreshadowing to see if to show that Mia will have the similar power in the future. But that does kind of seem like a bit of a reach. It's kind of too far out there. So now we're gonna move on from that, and we're gonna be talking about if Mia is reconnected within the mold network, I guess. Is she able to communicate with Ethan? Because in Resident Evil Village, at the end, we all saw that Evelyn was able to communicate with Ethan, even though she had died in the other game. And in Resident Evil 7, we did see that Jack Baker was able to communicate with Ethan, even though he had died previously. Now, I do think that Ethan's consciousness is still within the Mold Network, and I think this because if you remember at the end of Resident Evil Village during the post-credit scene, during the Rose cutscene, the BSAA agent tells Rose that she's a lot like him, like her father, and she replies with "I know," and I think she says "I know" because she's already communicated with her father through the Mold Network, so she already has a relationship with him, even though he passed away when she was still a little baby. And now I do think we'll get a scene in Resident Evil 9 with Rose and Ethan communicating with each other through the Mold Network. But now if Mia is also reinfected with the virus, now we can get a scene with the mother, the daughter, and the father communicating with one another. Now I'm going to touch on the last point I have for you guys today, and that is, if Mia is infected with the virus again, will the BSAA come for Mia in Resident Evil 9? Now, if Mia is in fact reinfected with the virus, I think it's almost a guarantee that the BSAA will come for her in the next game, but not like how Chris Redfield came for her in the beginning of Village. But that wasn't really her, but you know what I'm saying. I think the BSAA will come for her and try to experiment on her, and Rose, to try and engineer the E-type virus, the mold virus, to do their bidding. And as we saw from the end of Resident Evil Village, we all know that the BSAA is doubling down on using bioweapons in the field for their own purposes. Thank you guys for watching. I just want to say I know this video was kind of like a bit far-fetched, but ever since I finished Resident Evil Village a couple of weeks ago, ever since I heard Mia say that Miranda did experiments on her, I've been thinking about it for like ever since then. So I thought I had to make a video so I could stop thinking about this. And here you guys go. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching. And if you guys like this one, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.